Welcome to your deep dive. You know that feeling, right? You've worked hard all day, felt super busy, but then end of the day comes and you're thinking, wait, what did I actually get done?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common. And that feeling often points to these hidden habits we all kind of fall into, things we do every day that secretly um, undermine our productivity without us even noticing.
Exactly. So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack 6 of these specific habits. We won't just list them. We'll really get into how they mess with your focus, your output, and crucially, what practical steps you can actually take. Think of it like getting a bit of an inside track on your own work patterns.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Okay, let's dive right in with maybe the most universal one these days. Checking your phone first thing in the morning, like the second you wake up. It's almost automatic for so many people, isn't it?
It really is. Almost a reflex, yeah. But here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Doing that immediately throws your brain into, let's call it reaction mode.
Reaction mode, okay.
Yeah, you're instantly responding to emails, notifications, social media, news. Whatever pops up, it's other people's agendas, not yours. And interestingly, this actually gives you a little jolt of cortisol, the stress hormone. So
Yeah.
you're essentially starting your day slightly stressed and reactive before you've even, had a chance to think.
Wow, okay. So it sets a reactive tone right from the get-go.
Hmm.
What's the fix then? How do we avoid falling into that trap first thing?
Well, the solution is surprisingly straightforward, but it takes a little discipline. Just carve out the first, say, 15 or 20 minutes of your day to be phone-free.
No phone at all.
None. Use that time for something else, maybe some light stretching, jotting down a couple things you want to achieve, maybe just sitting quietly for a moment. It lets you start proactively engaging the part of your brain that plans and prioritizes your stuff first.
That makes sense. Setting your own course before the floodgates open. Okay, so we've navigated the morning phone trap. What's next? What other hidden habit often trips us up, maybe even before we start working?
Well, sticking with that theme of preparation, it's the lack of a written to-do list.
Keeping it all in your head.
Exactly. Lots of people think, oh, I'll remember, or writing it down takes too much time. But the thing is, your brain isn't really meant to be a filing cabinet. It's
Right.
for processing, for thinking.
Right. And trying to hold all those tasks mentally.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, isn't it? You don't have a clear path. You can't easily see what's most important, and you're constantly using mental energy just trying not to forget something. It feels fuzzy.
That's a great way to put it, fuzzy. And the simple act of writing tasks down, just externalizing them, lifts that mental burden. A basic list, maybe just the top 3 or 5 things for the day.
It's a few key things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Use an app, a notebook, sticky notes, whatever works. It provides clarity, focus, and, that satisfying feeling when you tick something off. It makes progress visible.
Okay, so we've got a plan. We've written it down. Now comes the actual work. And this leads to something we often think is productive. Multitasking. Juggling multiple things at once. We're kind of told that's efficient, right?
Oh, definitely. The myth of multitasking is powerful. It feels like you're being super efficient, doesn't it? Bouncing between that report, your email, maybe a quick chat message.
Yeah, like you're spinning all the plates.
But what's actually happening inside your brain is rapid task switching. You're not doing things simultaneously. Your brain is constantly shifting gears, and each shift has a cost. Psychologists call it a switch cost.
A switch cost.
Yeah. It takes time and mental energy to disengage from one task and fully engage with another. Some research suggests it can take over 20 minutes to get back into deep focus after an interruption. So multitasking actually slows you down, increases errors, and drains your mental battery way faster.
Okay, that's quite revealing. So if juggling is actually counterproductive, what's a better approach? How do we maintain that focus?
A really effective technique is the Pomodoro technique. Heard of it?
Vaguely, yeah. Work in bursts.
That's the core idea. You work intensely on one single task for, say, 25 minutes, no interruptions. Then you take a short break, maybe 5 minutes, then repeat. It leverages how our brains naturally work best, short bursts of high concentration, followed by a bit of recovery. It really helps maintain focus and quality.
That mention of recovery brings up another habit, kind of the flip side, not taking breaks at all, just trying to power through.
Right. It seems so dedicated, pushing through for hours on end, but it's actually quite counterproductive in the long run.
Why is that? It feels like you're maximizing work time.
Well, think of your brain like a muscle. If you just keep working it without rest, it gets fatigued, your focus starts to drift, your creativity takes a nosedive, and you actually become less effective. You hit diminishing returns. Your brain needs those little pauses to recharge and consolidate information.
Okay, so breaks are essential. But what kind of break works best? Is just scrolling social media count or...
That's a good question. Ideally, you want an active break, something that shifts your mental state. Even just 5 minutes helps. Get up, walk around, do a few stretches, maybe have a quick chat about something unrelated to work. The key is to step away mentally and physically, even briefly, to come back refreshed.
Got it. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk about protecting our time from, well, other people's demands. The habit of saying yes to everything, this one's tricky, right? You want to be helpful, be a team player.
Oh, it's really tough for a lot of people. We're often conditioned to be agreeable, but the hidden cost here is significant.
Oh, so?
Every time you say yes to something that isn't aligned with your priorities, you're implicitly saying no to something that is. You're giving away your focus, your time, your energy. It pulls you away from the deep, meaningful work you need to do. It's an opportunity cost.
That's a really important way to frame it. So if saying no is kind of like a productivity superpower, how do we actually do it without feeling awful or damaging relationships? Any tips?
The key is to be polite, clear, and firm, but you don't usually need a long, elaborate excuse. Something simple like, thanks for thinking of me for this, but I'm really focused on finishing my priority task right now, so I won't be able to jump on that. Or, I'd love to help another time, but my plate is full this week. Be respectful, but protect your boundaries. People often respect that more than we anticipate.
No lengthy justifications needed. Okay, that's helpful. And the final habit, maybe the soundtrack to modern life. Constant notifications.
Yes. The never-ending symphony of dings, pings, and buzzes from our phones, computers, watches.
It's everywhere. And each one of those little sounds, those little alerts, it's like a tiny interruption, isn't it?
Exactly. Each one is a micro-interruption that pulls your attention away, even if just for a second. It completely shatters your concentration, breaks that valuable state of flow you might have been in. You have to keep refocusing, which is mentally taxing.
So what's the defense against this digital barrage?
It's about taking back control. Be ruthless with turning off non-essential notifications. Do you really need an instant alert for every social media, or news update? Probably not.
Probably not, no.
Check your email, your messages, your social media on your schedule. Maybe designate specific times a few times a day. Move from being constantly interrupted to intentionally checking in. It's a huge shift from reactive to proactive.
Okay, wow. Let's do a quick flyover of those 6 habits again. We started with grabbing the phone first thing.
Setting that reactive tone.
Then trying to keep everything in your head instead of a to-do list.
Creating that mental clutter.
Then the myth of multitasking.
Which is really just rapid, inefficient task switching.
Followed by not taking breaks and burning out.
Depleting those mental resources.
The difficulty of saying no and overcommitting.
Giving away your focus.
And finally, letting constant notifications dictate your attention.
The constant fragmentation of concentration.
Right.
That covers a lot of ground. It does. And look, the point isn't to achieve some kind of perfect robotic productivity overnight. It's really about awareness, noticing these patterns in yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And then just making small, consistent adjustments. It's about progress, not perfection. Working smarter, not necessarily just grinding harder for longer hours.
Absolutely. And let's be honest, even discussing this, we probably recognize some of these in ourselves still, right? We all slip up.
Oh, for sure. It's an ongoing process for everyone.
So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with.
Yeah, here's something to think about. What if you treated your time like you treat your money, as a really valuable, finite resource? Once you spend it, it's gone. You can't get it back. If you truly adopted that mindset, what choices about your day, about these habits, might you change immediately?
That's a powerful question, because at the end of the day, productivity isn't just about doing more stuff. It's about doing the right stuff with focus. It's about setting those goals and building habits that protect your time and energy. So maybe just pick one thing from our chat today, just one small change, and give it a try.